Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everybody. We have started a brand new year, just a few days into it. Interesting. Just had a conversation with this gentleman, how things have changed a little bit. Now, he is the owner and founder of an amazing dispensary in Canada. Actually, the first and only certified living wage recreational cannabis dispensary in Canada's capital. And we were just talking before we got on the air here about New Year's Eve and how a lot of people weren't going out, but they were staying in. And assumably, because he saw sales spike up in his business, people were staying home and just kind of relaxing. Clayton Armstrong joins us here on the program. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year. I hope you had a great evening. What did you do? Did you stay in too?
I did not, although I was considering it, and I decided to go to a concert, so I saw Billy Joel.
Oh, sick. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just kind of a last-minute thing. But to the point here, a lot of people I know weren't going out, and you felt the same way, and then you saw a spike in business on New Year's Eve. So instead of people going to, let's say, a liquor store, they were getting THC, CBD, and they were just kind of just enjoying the night, just relaxing, not going out, playing it safe. Do you think that what was going on by you?
Yeah, it was. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. I knew, New Year's Eve is always going to be a fantastic sales day. But the trend was, the people everyone I talked to was not going out. They were kind of just staying home, hanging out with friends and family at most, and just chilling. We saw, spikes in really high-end flower. So people were treating themselves to some really nice things, and just kind of going home and enjoying them in the comfort of their home and with their loved ones. So it seemed to be the trend for sure. And we had just, it was a killer day. I ended up working 11 hours that day, and
wow.
I had, my manager, I think she put in about 14 hours, her and her husband. So it was a heck of a day. So, but a good problem to have.
I guess you are the equivalent to the old school liquor store, in a way.
Yeah.
Like where people
totally
just wanted to have something to bring on some relaxation, to celebrate, but, obviously playing it safe. And, some would say that THC, CBD, a lot safer than gravitating toward alcohol in many regards.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely has less catastrophic side effects that alcohol can have when, alcohol poisoning is a reality. And some people, again, just responsible consumption is the answer to all the problems, but, some people just take it too far. So with cannabis, you can you have more forgiveness for taking it too far because, there's been no cases of anyone dying from an overdose ever in history.
And I'm just going to, this is as of an hour ago. This is news, and I'm not, slapping alcohol. I love to have my beer, I love craft beer. U.S. Surgeon General sounding the alarm about the link between alcohol and cancer, how it can cause, it's been proven how it can cause 7 different types of cancer. So, I'm just saying,
definitely.
I'm just reporting what's there.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
We had warning labels in the Yukon. They put warning labels saying that it may cause cancer, and then, then they were sued by a lobby group to remove the label.
Wow.
So they had to because they didn't have enough money to fight it or something. It was an interesting story.
Now that we're at this juncture, didn't even know we were going here. We were going to talk about tinctures. What is the repercussions of THC? Is there any, side effects, anything bad?
Well, I mean, it can be habit forming, which in all reality can be as bad as an addiction. So there's no physical addiction to cannabis per se. But I definitely think it becomes habit forming for some people that are prone to that. So, again, it's something you've got to, know yourself and know your body and what is going on. I consume every day. That would be, so people would consider that abuse, but I am definitely self-medicating with cannabis. I had a prescription forever. I just don't use a prescription anymore when I own a store and I can get the same product for a lot less. And a prescription costs a lot of money, so on and so forth. So I've always self-medicated my ADD with cannabis, but the side effect for me is only kind of positive things. Other than the combustion of cannabis is my biggest concern when it comes to health side effects. Combusting anything is not good, but, unfortunately, that is my choice of consumption. So, the side effects of THC that there is some studies going on about something called cannabis hyper. I'm getting the name wrong. Hyper. There is a syndrome that they're starting to see with real heavy habitual cannabis smokers, where they get stomach pain. Now this is preliminary. Cannabis hypertension syndrome, I believe it's called. And the cure, believe it or not, and you can look this up, is a hot bath.
Wow.
To relieve the symptoms of the stomach. But some people that I've been told get some stomach issues when consuming mass amounts of cannabis for long periods of time. I've been reading about it, and I've heard a couple people that have had it or think they've had it. But it's I would say it comes from abuse of the plant more than it would come from anyone doing recreationally. I don't think it's ever had that effect on anyone.
So let's talk about that for a sec. I've heard that even CBD can give some tinctures, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Can give you some digestion or stomach issues. So maybe you're hearing that. I'm hearing that. I even know some friends that even like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not going to do a tincture. No. Could be a stomach issue. Got to be careful. And some of them have even experienced that. So interesting that. And why would the bath make a difference? I'm trying to figure that out.
This is where it's they don't know enough yet to kind of say it's happening or to say what is helping. But that seems to be what everyone is saying is helping them is hot baths. But definitely one of the things that can upset your stomach, especially when you're ingesting it through a tincture or an oil. Most of them, the carrier oil that is transporting the THC is MCT or coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, if you look up the side effects of coconut oil, it can run through a lot of people. So a lot of the digestive issues, especially when it comes to oils and sort of the tinctures, take a look at the ingredient list and see if there's some MCT oil in there or some coconut oil, because some people can handle it no problem. Coconut oil is healthy, but it also can run right through certain people.
Yes.
So we do have certain things made with other carrier oils like sunflower or olive oil.
That's exactly what I heard. That, like you just said, can run through you. That's what they. That's what has been described. So, why do you combust as opposed to a tincture? And I get you wouldn't want to do a gummy because we talked about that before. How it takes longer. You can't really control it as much once you ingest it. Whereby if you're smoking, 20 minutes later it might start wearing off, and you can do it again. Why do you gravitate toward combusting?
I mean, it's how I was introduced to the plant.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot of options when I was introduced. You smoked it. That was about it. There was very few people cooking with it or doing those things. So it's different. That's what I will say. Combusting, the effects of combustion versus the effects of ingestion are different. your liver does change it into something else, into a different compound. So you're getting, it's a different buzz. And so I would say when you ingest, it's more sort of in your body. It's more of a body buzz. And when you smoke, it's a little bit more of a cerebral or a head thing. You still get the body effects with smoking too, but it's not the same. So for me, I'm kind of looking to slow down my mind a bit, because it can race. And being a business owner, anyone who owns a business knows, no matter how much you love your business and love it, the stress is it's immense. It's, everything riding on the line. There's issues and fires you're constantly putting out. And for me, edibles will not stop my mind from racing. And that's why I consume cannabis. I need to go home at night and be able to go to bed. And if I didn't consume cannabis and sort of get that cerebral or the head buzz, that wouldn't allow me to let go of the day.
Totally got it.
That's why I personally consume by smoke, by combustion. So
okay, so it's force of habit. That's what that's what you did back in the day, and then you just continue to do that.
Habit and the buzz is totally different.
We're jumping into areas we didn't even know we were going to go in. So based on your experience and or what you've heard from customers and colleagues, can you go through the different types of ingestion or consumption and why it's different? Okay, you have a gummy, you have combustion or smoking, you have a tincture. What's the difference in terms of what you feel?
Well, definitely, again, so smoking is a cerebral thing. It also does the body as well, but it's more of a relaxing of your mind as well as your body. And where I find that the edibles is more focused on just your body, which for most people, that is exactly what they're looking for. So when it comes to like edibles, there's and oils and tinctures, there is so many options, from oils and capsules, which is basically the same thing. One's just, you're not going to taste it, because some of the oils can taste very cannabis heavy, which some people don't like. So then you would take a capsule versus that. But again, with the oils, you have, olive oil based, sunflower oil based, or MCT oil based. That's going to go through your liver. Your liver's going to process it into something else. And that's where you get that body buzz instead of the cerebral buzz. So that's, oils. And then we have tinctures and sort of sublinguals, which is really kind of ramping up. And basically what that is either dissolvable strips we have dissolvable tablets, or a spray, and you put it under your tongue. And what that is doing is bypassing your liver and going straight into your system. And when that happens, you get, again, so your liver isn't processing it, so it becomes way more rapid acting, because it's almost straight into your system, and then it bypasses the liver. So it's more of it's closer to smoking, I would say, than the oils would be. So a little bit of a different buzz, and people seem to really like it. We also have water-soluble drops for infusing drinks, which people are really, especially around Christmas, it was great. We have a lime, a berry, or just sort of an unflavored, and these are water-soluble. So the theory is, and what they tell us, is our bodies are made up 98% of water. Oil, water don't mix. So when we ingest oil, it's harder for our body to absorb what's in it because it's oil and water. Whereas these water-soluble drops, our body is made of water, dissolves easier in our system and is processed better. So you're getting more of the effect because it's not trying to separate it from the oil, is the theory. And people are really liking them, and we've seen a huge kind of uptick in those as well. So you have sublingual strips, sublingual capsules, you have sprays, you have water-soluble drops, and then you have oils. And then we have Rosin Heads is a company that we have, and they do hash rosin drops, which is another way to kind of consume. And what it is it would be in between a capsule and an edible, and it's basically a little. Unfortunately, they look like chocolate chips, and I'll tell you the story why this is unfortunate. They look like chocolate chips, but they are not. They are basically a coconut oil with a hash rosin infused in it. I thought they were chocolate chips. That's kind of how they were pitched to me. I took a handful of delicious chocolate chips, and it was like taking a spoonful of coconut oil, and let me tell you, that is not a great taste to have. So that's but another kind of popular option as well.
So when you mentioned taste, there are some companies that boast the fact that their edibles or whatever is being ingested, not combusted,
right,
actually taste good. And there's been times where I've tasted a sort of a THC-ish kind of taste to a gummy or a tincture. What are your thoughts there? Should you be tasting anything like that?
So the ones that I find taste the best are made from distillate. So to explain distillate to everyone, distillate is basically a process where they extract THC from the oil of the plant. But that's all they're taking. They're just taking the THC. All the entourage effect, the terpenes, the other minor cannabinoids are left over to the left, and they just take out THC. Those ones I find they can mask the flavor quite easily, but I personally don't like them, and it's just a personal thing. I like a live resin or a live rosin gummy, and what those are is the whole plant inside that gummy, and I have never found one that doesn't taste like THC, or it doesn't taste like cannabis, sorry. Some are better than others, but they all have a cannabis taste to them. So in my experience, and I could be wrong because I don't have access to American products, but the good tasting ones are a lower grade, or not a lower grade, or a more, they just have THC. So they've refined out all the other cannabinoids. And if there's one thing that I know about this plant is the benefit isn't just from THC or just from CBD. It's from the whole plant. They don't understand sort of that entourage effect. They came out with a THC pill. This extraction of pure THC has been, they've done it for a long time. They were able to synthesize THC, and they thought, oh, this is the end of cannabis because we can just synthesize THC. Didn't work. Because all these other minor cannabinoids, CBG, CBD, CBN, CBC, along with the THC and the terpenes of the plant affect the sort of the benefit or the buzz you're going to get.
So you said entourage effect. Let's just explain that. It's been a while since we've actually mentioned what that is.
Right. So it's basically a whole bunch of things working together in cannabis. And we don't necessarily understand all the interactions between all these things yet. But we know that the outcome is totally different when they're paired together than when they're just isolated by themselves. So the entourage effect is that effect of all the things in the plant together, being consumed together at the same time, results in a different effect than if you just isolate the THC, the psychoactive, and take that. If that is a good analogy, I hope.
And so,
good explanation.
Entourage effect is what you're looking to get.
Yes, for me, absolutely. For most customers that are lovers of cannabis, yes. Now, they're always going to be more expensive, slightly more expensive than the distillate because the distillate is you can grow sort of an outdoor crop that isn't very good quality-wise, but then you can sort of refine it and get a distillate out of it that you could then put into these gummies, so it's cheaper. Whereas those entourage effects, you're kind of growing a higher quality product to then put in. The inputs are higher end and more expensive. So, they become more expensive products.
Wow. Can you please move to the States?
I would love to. I think Trump said something about us becoming the 54th state recently. I saw that in the news, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would love an open border policy or something where we were all kind of like the EU, but North America, right? It would be fantastic.
Yeah. There's nothing like you here, at least in my experience, with the knowledge, the depth, and also the fact that you really do take care of not only your clients, but your staff by paying them living wage, not minimum, living wage, and you're certified for that. So it's legit. You don't hear about that in the States that often. And certainly you would welcome if anybody is looking to do what you're doing there, partner up with you and bring Good Nature Cannabis to the States, right?
Absolutely. Or if you just want to, consult about opening your own with kind of my model, I'd be, so glad to, see living wage jobs. It doesn't have to be a Good Nature. I would like it, just to spread. We need more of these jobs. It puts more money back into your community. It puts, less stress on the social systems that other people depend on, freeing up more resources for the people who actually need it. Living wages is just, it's so important, and it can work. You can make money and pay people properly. It's, we've gotten so greedy. And I don't want to say greedy, but it's just the model. The business model is kind of been chew them up, spit them out. And I can just I've shown, we're 3 years in, we just had our best year ever, that you can treat people properly, your employees, and it's going to equal profit.
Yeah.
So, everyone wins with this model, not just one person. So, if anyone wants to talk about business, I'd be so happy to share my experiences, the pitfalls, and help people, spread these jobs everywhere.
I now officially deem you a cannabis business consultant.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you know what? It's your staff is everything. So when you invest in them, they're invested in you. And that's where the magic happens. GoodNatureCannabis.ca to reach out to Clayton. And great having you on here. Always learn so much. Awesome. You're just a CBD THC genius. And I really mean that.
I still have so much to learn, and it's when you're passionate about something, it's so easy to be just fascinated by everything that comes out and be on top of it. So there's another tip to everyone. Do what you love. It makes such a difference. It makes it so easy if you love what you do.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like our parents told us that years ago, and if we can listen to it. And what I love is you do what you love to do, but at the same time, you realize the benefits of what you sell for yourself. So you walk the walk and talk the talk, and I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. And again, Happy New Year's to you, your family, and your team there.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Steve.
All right. We'll talk soon. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.